it's that moment when you first fall in love and the person, when you touch that person for the first time and that electricity that happens, it's like their hand, and you could have an orgasm just with the touch of their hand when it's brand new and it's all God. I, like a friend. I've never done. I was laying in bed and I took my own hand and I felt like my own hand was not my own, coming from source.
Wow, 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 wow is all I can say. I am blown away by the beauty, the wisdom, the humility, the hearts of service, the magic and the miracles that these women bring to the world and brought to our circle today. What a gift it is to listen to each of their realizations, to each of their ways of relating and listening and opening to the magic and the miracles. What medicine it is to feel their sisterhood, to feel their hearts. So this is an opportunity for you to drop into your heart, to your breath, to your opening, to your expansion, and to set down whatever is in your way today. However we can get out of our own way is always a beautiful thing so that the magic and the miracles can come through for each of us. Setting down any sort of loops of thinking and allowing in the joy. It's all here for you in this conversation and in yourself as you commune with this conversation. So let's dive in. Welcome to The Authentic Creative, where we expand our capacity to feel good one deep breath, one bold choice, and maybe a little bit of magic at a time. I'm Siri Baruch Thornton, healer, creative, and lifelong explorer of all things energy, self-expression, and joy. With over 26 years of experience in Reiki, Akashic Records, and transformational breathwork, I've learned that feeling good is not a luxury, it's a practice. And sometimes it's a little messy. This podcast is here to help you trust your intuition, break the rules, the ones that need breaking, and live more fully in your gifts. So give yourself a deep breath, get cozy, and let's dive in. Dana Schmit is the creator of Sound Mind, blending mindset coaching, subconscious identity work, sound therapy, and Reiki to help her clients find clarity, peace, and balance. Morrow is an outdoor boudoir and erotic photographer who guides individuals and couples through sensual experiences in wild places. Robyn Cohen holds a BFA from the Juilliard School and an MFA from the Shakespeare Theater Company in Washington, D.C. She has been acting professionally for 33 years in theater, film, and television, and for the past 20 years has been coaching artists and public speakers across all mediums and hosts the Thriving Artist podcast. Missy Yelton, owner, custom fundraising solutions entrepreneur, passionate about giving back and connecting communities through fundraising. An entrepreneur and business leader, Regina Woolson integrates creativity, yoga, health, and equestrian competition to explore how intentional movement, discipline, and beauty shape the way we live, lead, and create. Jodi Kahn is a trauma-informed somatic coach and spiritual guide who bridges neuroscience, energetics, and ancient wisdoms to help humans release what weighs them down and access deeper inner peace and aliveness so they can lead their lives with clarity, steadiness, and joy. And Luana McKenzie is a Maui-based entrepreneur, author, and founder of Cacao Drinking Chocolate, whose global work in conscious leadership, heart-centered business, and earth wisdom has inspired visionaries, creatives, healers, and leaders around the world. What a fantastic group of women. I can't wait for you to listen in.
Hello, and welcome back to The Authentic Creative, expanding our capacity to feel good. We are in a cocoon of love and safety, expansion and expression. We literally just finished our transformational breathwork infused with Reiki experience. And these brave, courageous heroines, goddesses, humans, just gave themselves the opportunity to set down whatever they were carrying, to open, to receive the magic and the miracles that are all already inside of them. Today, we are going to be talking about surrendering to this magic, to the miracles, to the sacred, but the sacred in the ordinary, the sacred in every day. And so first is just an opportunity, a casual checking in for anyone who feels safe enough to share their experience of their breathwork. Jodi.
I'm really honored and happy to. I think the first thing I want to say is, woo, that was powerful and amazing.
Yes. Good job.
It's been quite some time since I've indulged myself in a breathwork session. I've been curious about your breathwork sessions infused with Reiki since we met, since I follow you, since I was on your panel last year. What came through to me is actually what I was just going to say, which is everything happens really at the right time. I feel like now I'm embodying that to really, really, really accept for myself and live from a place that everything is unfolding just when and how it's supposed to. And this experience was that. And I'm really grateful for my own personal experience of being trained through breath work and somatics and to allow myself, permission myself to really go with it and receive what you so beautifully provided for us. The space you held, the guidance, the music, the vibe, the energy, the space that you hold. It's the reminder that everything is really here right for us. And at the same time, we get to go at our own pace.
Mm.
Sometimes we don't even know what's expected or what the possibilities are.
Mm-hmm.
And yet sticking with it and honoring our own space and our own journey and permissioning ourselves. It's really those baby steps, one baby step at a time. I feel like I'm looking back at it and I'm really seeing all the baby steps to get here. We so often don't see the progress we've made because it's
Yeah.
right. It's like, what is it, the iceberg? It's all underneath the
Mm-hmm.
iceberg and it's only the tip
Mm-hmm.
that's above. This
Mm-hmm.
was a moment for me to really be in it and witness myself in it and really see all the work that's been done and all the expansion, all the healing, and all the change. So this was really beautiful. Thank you so much.
You're so, so, so welcome. What an honor to witness you and to get to facilitate a facilitator. Thank you for the remembrance of permissioning ourselves because I remember that being such a beautiful phrase that you've used in the past on the podcast here. And it's one of my favorite phrases that I hear you share and that I only hear you share that particular way of saying it. And it is such medicine. And that is my intention. Go ahead, Dana.
I'm just coming off of 3 days of a very intense, high energy retreat conference where I also participated and was featured. So my nervous system is very fried. And I've had the pleasure of participating in so many of your breathwork sessions, Siri, and they're so beautiful. I gave myself permission this time. I found myself in that performative, like, okay, I got to keep up and I got to breathe. And then I just let myself relax and breathe into what I needed. And I found it to be so different than any of the other sessions that I've been in previous. I allowed myself to slow down, which is what I try to do as a practice a lot, and found myself in such a beautiful integrative place. It was exactly what I needed coming off of these 3 days and a 9-hour drive yesterday. And I found all of these beautiful integrative moments. So thank you. Thank you. So different than what I've experienced previously and exactly what I needed.
Well, way to give yourself exactly what you needed, Dana, and way to show up after having such a massive experience. And I know that was incredible what you gave. Way to go for permissioning yourself, as Jodi would say, to slow down and give yourself the medicine that you give so many others. And I think that so much of the time that's what we're needing is the permission to give ourselves what we give to others. So thank you for showing up big as you always do, and showing up for yourself and meeting yourself exactly where you needed to meet yourself. Ren,
I agree.
yay!
Yeah. When you're saying giving yourself the permission to partake in the medicine that you give, we only ever give the thing that we were taught we needed.
Mhm.
And it's so interesting how the reason we find the practices and the medicine that we have to give is because we desperately needed it.
Mhm.
And then we turn into just the giver of that. And it's like, wait, hold on, wait a minute. Like, I even became a facilitator of this because this is like my bread and butter, like the thing I need on an everyday. And so I wanted to share
Truth.
that.
Yeah.
And then as far as my experience, it was really beautiful. You said something about being your own best friend.
Hmm.
And I literally felt myself come alongside myself. I'm in a season of it. It feels like confusion. I feel like I'm supposed to be waiting, but I also feel like, have I been waiting for too long? Is the universe waiting for me to make a move, or am I supposed to be waiting on the universe? And I noticed throughout my days the version of me that's trying to be receptive and the version of me that feels like I'm also a co-creator in this start to angle towards each other and be in conflict with each other. And when you said that, I felt myself fall back into a side by side from a unified place of being like, hey, we're not in conflict, we're friends. Even though we're seeing this thing from two different points of view, we're the same. And so
Yeah.
I really loved
Oh.
that.
Oh, what beautiful articulation. I think we can all relate to what you just described. I think it's so I wrote this down at our last retreat on this card, and two of the women here will remember this. I said, we're all so deeply connected in our truths. And I think, Ren, when you speak truth, when Jodi speaks truth, when Dana speaks truth, like you all just did, it's like, yeah, we're so there with you. Like, we so get it. So thank you for sharing that, because it's just medicine. And that's my intention for this, is just to continue to pour out our truths and the places where we need to feel a little bit more seen and we can see each other. So thank you for going for it in the breathwork experience. That was our first time together doing this practice, and you just went for it. And it's such a gift that you gave that to yourself.
Well, it seems like from my experience with you, I find the breathwork sessions really fun because I get all these crazy visuals. There were no dragons this time. So Ren was saying about how she saw herself laying beside herself. Okay, like I feel like I'm gonna cry because I started crying during this part. I had all this crazy transformation stuff happening. I won't go into the full detail, but at the end, when you're talking about us lifting up our arms and stuff, I felt myself burst out of myself and take wing. I was all brown though. It was a very odd color. And I was about to fly off into the air, and I turned around and looked at myself. It was like I was disembodied, and came back in and held myself and hugged myself. Then I just burst out in tears and started crying. And it was really nice. And just to lay there with that at the end made me feel really good. And then in some ways I was like, maybe it was Siri setting her energy to give me a hug. So
Yes, it was me. And also it was you. And also it was your masters, teachers, guides, angels, God, universe, spirit, like the co-creation of what we all called in together. And it's so beautiful. It reminds me of a psychedelic journey, the way that you experience breath work. And it makes me so fucking happy, Regina, because I just love hearing you having these mystical experiences. And it gives us an example to expand our own experiences. Cause then we're like, oh yeah, I can like have that too. Yeah.
It's amazing. I mean, I was so inspired after coming back and having those experiences. I started drawing again. I love all my craft work. I just was like, all this extra creativity opened inside of me. And I love writing about the journey too, because it's unbelievably creative. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to forget any of this. This is so cool.
Yes, it's all in you, and your creativity is like such a side effect of getting to do this work that we all get to do. And it's I love that I get to facilitate breath work, you guys. It's so powerful. Jodi knows it's like the best. Okay, so Missy,
I must have been channeling Regina's birds. 'Cause I had birds this time too. I just love that I never know what I'm going to get. That's the coolest thing ever. And so I get excited because I'm like, what am I going to tell myself today? Or what's God going to say to me? I saw wrens, and then at the end, I saw a phoenix or felt phoenix energy. And this one was much more in my body. So I think that's a theme. I had a lot of gratitude. I've been on a journey this past couple of years of being much more physical. I finally got back in the gym after having kids for 20 years and mothering, and and all this trauma has come out through that. And it's actually been really beautiful that I was holding on to. And so this, I felt much more in my sacral, which was not my past 3 experiences. So that was
Interesting.
cool.
Yeah, that's interesting because that's also that female creative matrix that Regina was talking about, being that sacral and like being in the body and fully dropped in. So it's such a gift. Thank you for sharing that. That's really exciting. So, Robyn, hi. How was that breathing for you? How do you feel?
Phenomenal. Thank you so much, Siri. Oh, I feel humbled and just so privileged to be with all of you women in this breath work. And I'll just say briefly, the thrill of today's breath work is that even though I could not see you or hear you breathing, I felt you, Ren and Missy and Jodi and Dana and Regina and Siri. I felt the oneness of our breathing together and the phenomenal, breathtaking, ironically, miracle of that. And I'll just say, overall, the power of presence through the breath work that you facilitate, Siri, is everything. Okay, thanks.
I love you so much.
I love you so much.
I never say enough good things about you, Robyn. I'm always later on, oh my
Likewise.
God, I need to say more because
No, I would take the entire time just to reflect what you have provided in this space and what you continue to provide. But I know we have a whole panel. We have all kinds of things to discuss. But thank you for that. And Siri, I got it. Thank you.
So welcome, Luana. Thank you so much. I know you did your own practice and you're dropped in with us and right here and she gets it. So I just want to read this little poem for us all, for the listeners here. So give yourself the greatest gift of your own breath. Tiptoe into the river of your dreams. Name the price you keep hiding for your own love and pay it to yourself in full. Wrap your life in your arms and taste it. Drink down the last drop of this moment. Spray the rose mist. Trample the dandelions in the forest of shoulds. Dream of a new day at sea. Cover yourself in new honey. Let the coffee in your veins remind you you are still here, still waking up to your own softness and power. Remember how you once sang. Remember how you once bled for belonging. Recall the number you used to dial for validation and feel how quiet it has become. Tease out the please from your sentences. Walk down the stairs of your mind and notice how the distance from A to Z is only alignment. Ask less, does anyone really love me? And more, do I stay with myself? Let the old stories of codependence slide off your shoulders. No more repair performances, no more excuses. Let them think what they think, no need. Fear separates us all until love calls us back. Vast is the garden of love, vast is the sky and sea, deep is your love, deeper than you have ever dared to believe. Forget tomorrow's promises, remember this. You are allowed to begin again. You are allowed to choose yourself, always, dear one, always. So I want to start by saying this is a panel about the mystical, the magical, the sacred, the ordinary, the sacred in the ordinary. And so we've just rebirthed ourselves here today together. And I want to ask each of you to either choose something you organically in this present moment want to share about the sacred ordinary, the magic and the miracles and the mystic and the unseen for like a couple minutes, or I have a question for you. So either one works. Dana, I'm going to start with you if that's okay. And Dana, in your work with mindset, Dana Schmit, in your work with mindset, sound, and Reiki, you are listening beneath the words all the time. So if you like this question, you can take it or you can leave it. I really don't mind.
Okay.
But if you drop into your own life right now, Dana, can you share a recent everyday moment where a simple sound or a simple silence felt like a miracle to you? And what shifted inside you when you noticed it? That's one option. Or you can just share what you want to share.
Oh my gosh. I feel like whenever I'm listening, it's a miracle, because the listening is when I'm guided. It's in the listening that I'm guided to either play or to either speak and ask questions to my clients. When I'm listening to their words, when I'm listening to what they're saying, or I'm listening and watching for those deep neurological loops, I see those patterns of pain of the stories they're telling themselves.
Yeah.
And in that listening, I see where to take them.
Mm-hmm.
And also in the listening and the silence between the sound, I hear where the instruments want to play, if that makes sense.
Totally.
I'm guided, right? And it's like, there's no sound there, but there's guidance. And it's curious. It's like when we realize the gift of breath, right? Like, we're guided all day long with this gift of our breath. Like, how curious is that? We didn't ask for it. We're not asking for the breath in constantly, yet it comes all the time. And it's such a gift all day, all night. So we're constantly guided, right? We're constantly supported with this invisible guidance that we're not asking for. So can we trust that it's there all the time without us asking, right? Which is just so mystical and magical. And yes, it's science, and yes, it's survival, and yes, we're wired. It's there, and we can go into the science of it and say, well, this is why, and this is why, and get into the nitty gritty and the 3D of it. And yet it's there. We can explain it because our logical mind wants to know why and wants to explain it away. And there is something mystical about it. There is something super mystical about it.
I'm curious, Dana, you were just at this 1,000-person event that you gave a sound bath for, James Wedmore's event, right?
Yeah.
And so what was the mystical, magical moment with that?
Thank you.
In the most beautiful moments of that experience, what, if you could somehow put words to it?
Oh my gosh.
Somehow wrap words around it. What was that?
Oh my gosh. It was the most inspirational and humbling experience I've ever experienced. I went to that event a completely different person. First of all, I didn't realize how many people 1,000 people are. I think in my mind, I was like 1,000 people. And in the room, I was like, oh my gosh, 1,000 people is a lot of people.
Yeah.
The energy was so humbling. It was very confronting. It was very confronting and humbling to be in that much energy, to hold that much energy, to learn a lot about myself.
So when you were doing the sound bath for that many people, that's an expansion. So you're bumping up against that. Were you able to listen? Were you able to feel source? Were you able to drop in? Or were you just so self-aware?
I started off very self-aware.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever had these moments where I started to talk and then I looked around and I was like, oh my God, there's so many people. And then I got really, really nervous and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm talking and I have a microphone. And then I wanted nothing more than everyone to shut their eyes and stop talking. I was able, once eyes were shut, room was settled, and I was able to just be in that connection with my instruments and be in that connection of just focused in, where I get in this space where there's no, which I think you'll relate, there's no space between me and my instruments. I'm just literally one with. And I think this is what draws me to sound healing too. I am so fast moving in my mind and in my life. I cannot move like that when I'm playing my instruments. There's no playing fast. There's no, right? I have to play slowly and I have to listen. And this is my medicine, because I need to slow down and I need to listen. So when I got into that moment, when I got into that flow of being one with the instruments, I was able to slow down, and it was okay. It was okay. I went with it.
I'm so proud of you, Dana.
Thank you. Thank you. So yes, how that came in was I was in a full moon meditation, and I had this voice coming in saying, share with communities who have made you better, share what you offer, just share with people who have made you a better person, share with your communities. And so I was on a walk the next day, popped open my Instagram, started voice noting people that have poured into me, that I've invested in to make me a better person, and said, hey, I'm in your community, I offer sound healing, and just shared. I got a note back from James's fiance saying, oh, I love a sound bath, I'll take your email. And I'm like, that's so nice, thank you for the response. And then 2 days later, she messaged me and she said, well, this is funny timing. And she's very intuitive, so it's not funny. It's, an everyday miracle.
Yeah.
She said, well, this is funny timing. James's sister usually delivers a sound bath every BBD Live, but we just found out this morning she can't. Are you available? So, yes. So, of course, divinely led, divinely guided, these moments. So this is just right. Like when we hear these things, and instead of letting ego go, well, yeah, I heard this message saying share, but, nobody really wants to, right. Instead of talking ourselves out of these little messages, like, well, who really wants to, just go with it, right? And follow that guidance, follow and know that we're being gifted and we're being led all day long, just like we're being gifted with our breath all day long, 24 hours a day.
Thank you, Dana, for that.
Thank you.
It's like listening. Then you got the message, the sign to share. Then you didn't ignore it, even though you had maybe a possibility of ignoring it. You listened, and then you went forward, and then it was divine timing. I love that. And then you had this expansive experience, which is like bumping up against your stuff, and then you get to grow, and now you got that. You did that. It's like all under you. And now what's next? It's so exciting. Thank you, Dana.
Thank you so much for having me. It's so beautiful to see all of y'all. It's so beautiful to be in your presence. And thank you so much for that beautiful session, Siri. It's always such a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
I love you. Dana was
I love you.
At my Reiki retreat. She got first and second degree Reiki certified with me. So I feel really honored. Okay, so Jodi, you listen to bodies and nervous system all day as a somatic and spiritual guide. Can you share a recent ordinary moment, and again, this is an optional question, in your own life when your body whispered something clear to you, a yes or a no or a turn here, and you actually listened? Very similar to what we were just talking about with Dana, how did that choice reveal itself as a small miracle afterward? Or if there's something else that's lighting you up more about the sacred ordinary? Feel free to share that.
Thank you for granting permission for me to go either way. But I love all of it. I think I want to begin by just saying that what I've been finding recently in my everyday life, whether it's with people or with myself and all of my prior selves and people, that life really is a miracle. And I start my day with prayer, with meditation, feeling grateful in the miracle of just our human body. And I find that for me, just focusing on that, recognizing how our eyes work, how our digestion works, how our brain and mind works, yet we can't really study that, right? It's like not even physical, how electricity works, how our energy, how our heart pumps, the way our mind thinks, and everything is built for. I think that our body is so foundational in recognizing really that the biggest miracle of all that so many of us take for granted and so many don't really pay attention to until it's not working well. And then they first realize just our bodies and nature, right? How the trees know what to do, and they know how to absorb light, and they know how to bring up water, and just all of what nature is to me is a freaking miracle. And I really love to build that time and really spend time with that. Now, in terms of let's say more recently, how I'm bumping up to it all the time, well, I stepped into human design this year and have come to have my mind blown. Like, thank you for, I don't know, it's so interesting. I never recognized myself using permission so much, but permissioning me to be me in my natural order, in my natural human design. And with that said, I've learned this year more than ever to listen to my little intuitive hits,
Mm-hmm.
given that I am a manifester and I'm splenic. It is that little thing that comes in that I used to maybe dismiss or overthink that now I'm acting upon, like really acting upon. And that to me has been really miraculous how it just drops in. It's kind of a miracle for me to not have my mind take over. That's, I guess, another miracle that's very human.
Yeah.
Right? But to notice it and to actually say, like, thank you, I'm a heart seeker. I'm not an everyday poster in social media land, but I was putting a little eye cream on and I was squeezing this little trial tube onto my little pinky for that little teeny amount you actually need. And sure enough, a plop fell out and a plop goes onto the sink. And I looked down and it was in the shape of a heart. Now, I think most people would have just gone, shit, there it goes. I just wasted all that cream and just would have swept it up. But I immediately saw it and was like, oh, thank you. Thanks for the little wink. Let me take a picture of it. Let me just smile. I left it there till later. I didn't even clean it up. I left it because it was fun to see. And so that's the other thing I'm just realizing, and I want to be conscious of just packing this up real fast, that love piece and allowing these little miracles and magic in, it's a natural expander when we allow ourselves to take it in these little doses. And this year has been an incredible expansion for me in joy. And I know this is what you do, you're all about, right? And increasing our capacity to feel good. Joy is joy is so hard for so many of us. We're serious and serious, was raised serious, and you've got to let joy in and see the miracle of it and lean into that and to allow that to expand to experience a lighter and more joyful life. So I think that's also the magic, the power we have to cultivate what we pay attention to change our vibe, to change what we notice, to allow ourselves to really take it in and feel it, embody it.
That's such a beautiful example of the sacred ordinary. It's like that little piece of lotion that plopped out, and then you just left it and you appreciated the beauty of it. And it's all so much about our perspective. And you're like starting your day with the miracle of just existing and being in that energy of gratitude and love and appreciation and not letting the mind get in our own way, which is so human. And you're saying that does happen to you, but you keep returning to that, permissioning yourself to just be present, just be grateful, just recognize, be conscious of all the little signs, all the little magical moments, all the little heart moments. Thank you, Jodi. I love listening to your voice because it's so nourishing and nurturing and comforting. Thank you so much. These are such gorgeous women. So for Luana Mackenzie, Luana, you carry cacao, earth wisdom, leadership in such a grounded way. Can you remember a recent moment, maybe with cacao or simply in your kitchen or on the land, when you felt the earth or spirit sending you a very simple sign? And what did you do with that sign and how did it change the way that you move through your day?
Aloha. Thank you for having me. Amazing. Well, I have the privilege to live in Hawaii, so I'm getting to hear the land all the time. And yes, with cacao, with the organization recently, I was out on the land and I could feel a rumbling through my body where cacao was asking me to have a conversation with someone in the team. And it was a conversation that I'd been resisting having. And when I tuned into that earth wisdom, it was so clear of like, this is the next right step. Don't get too ahead of myself. So taking that next right step when we're leading from the heart and not getting too ahead of ourselves of like, well, what's going to happen from there? Just that next right step.
That's good because to echo what Jodi was talking about with human design is as a manifesting generator, I'm constantly getting 5 steps ahead of myself.
Mm.
And then I have to go back. So thank you for that. The listening. We used your cacao at our last retreat and every retreat, and the women here know how powerful that cacao is. Everyone loved it so much. It is such a blessing that you've decided to be a steward for that medicine and that magic. I find that the cacao has beautiful signs and magic and medicine in every single cup. The little rainbows in the bubbles. I find, particularly in this season of December, in this year of 2025, in the final moments of shedding, it is a very, to me, vulnerable and kind of scary time.
Mhm.
And I know we're about to go into the year of the horse. And that's very exciting to me because I'm ready. I'm ready to be done with the shedding. I'm ready for this movement. Yeah. So thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, you're such a beautiful gift. So for Regina, you're welcome. So for Regina Woolson, Regina, you weave together business and yoga and health in partnership with horses, and you have so much intention and so many various things that you do in your world. Is there a recent moment with a horse or in the arena that felt like an everyday miracle to you? Maybe it's something tiny that the rest of the world might miss. What did that moment teach you about how you want to live and lead in regular life?
That's funny you should ask. I do go out and ride my horse a couple of times a week. And actually, this week, I had an experience with him. He was being very good. We were working on some basic things. And I decided to have a little bit of fun with him because I'd been watching Olympic videos of dressage, which I don't do dressage, but I was like, oh, I wonder if I try to, how he'll react if I try to teach this thing to him, how to move his legs so it looks like he's dancing a little bit. And I have never done anything like that with him because we compete. So I'm always like really serious about him having the good flow and his body's moving. And so I'm like, let's just mess around a little bit and see what happens. So we did that and he like got it and started doing it a little bit like this. And I was like, oh my gosh, he's such a good boy. Got off and was walking around with him and decided to kind of just at liberty, not use the reins. And I was walking beside him just to see how he would react. If I move my arms like this, could we do this on the ground? Will he move towards me? Will he move away from me? And he did. It was like, it felt really crazy because I hadn't trained him to do any of these things, but I just wanted to see what his reaction would be from the energy of my movements. And I would go like this and he would spin that way. And I would go like this and come backwards. He would come towards me. It was really cool. So yeah, I have lots of experiences like that. I like to just play around and see what happens in the world around me a lot. And I think that's why I do so many creative things. I have 7 crochet projects around me right now. And I'm like, what can I make out of this? And this is a beautiful yarn. And my brain is constantly going that way. So I think one of the things that this taught me was it's okay for me to experiment with all those things. That's part of my power. And I came away from the retreat realizing that I can live with my power. I think that was a very eye-opening thing for me, where I always push my power down and learn all the things I want to learn, enjoy the things I want to enjoy, but don't really embrace that. And then ever since then, I'm like, if I can conceive it, I can find a way to learn that thing, do that thing, grow whatever it is, business, plants, horses.
You are such a manifesting generator in the best way possible. You're so creative and just such a, I mean, she showed me her bathing suits that she knits bathing suits, you guys. So cool.
I have one around here somewhere.
So
Actually,
cool,
I'll show you
Regina.
this one I'm making for my friend's little sister.
And so, of course, we were talking about the year of the horse, and then
Yes.
of course, you're talking about this beautiful experience with your horse and just seeing like life is an experiment is what I hear you saying. And just, yes, it's so beautiful.
For a little girl.
it's just so amazing to me what you can create. And I love this perspective of it's all an experiment. Let's just see, let's just play. And the fact that after the retreat, you said you just felt like you're ready to take the lid off because you've
Yes.
got so much power and you're so capable and just let's go. So it's so perfect that we're coming into the year of the horse because you're like, let's gallop, let's go with everything, with anything that you want to play with. Oh gosh. I'm sure there's a million moments with the horses.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
are. Sometimes he walks behind me and he'll nudge me with his nose, and I'll be like, "What do you want?" They are communicating.
It's so amazing. Oh my gosh. Regina, thank you so much for being here. And especially, I appreciate those dragon experiences you had at the retreat. Those will always stay with me. So, Missy Yelton, you live in the world of fundraising and community where numbers and spreadsheets meets people's hearts. Can you tell us about a simple moment in your work, maybe a meeting or a phone call or a school gym full of people where you felt that what you were doing was more than business and it landed as a small or a big miracle of connection or generosity? And how did your own heart know that, receive that? How did that feel?
Oh my gosh. There's so much in that. You know what? It honestly happens all the time. That's why I love what I do because it's so much more than business. I wouldn't do it if it was just business. I don't think I could. It's because I genuinely love, especially some of the smaller communities that we get to work in, and we're going literally all over the state and meeting different people and seeing how each community takes on its own vibe.
Well, tell us what you do.
We literally set up a mattress fundraiser in schools, and yeah, I know that sounds crazy when I'm saying it out loud. And we raise money for school music programs and athletic teams and programs that really need it. We do work with some nonprofits too, but it's a much more lucrative fundraiser for them in a lot of cases because we have to sell fewer items, and we can sell a lot fewer items for them to literally raise thousands in one day. So a lot of our programs are raising in excess of, $10,000 in a day, which is helping kids travel for music, which we love. We have such a heart for that. We're helping them afford lessons for band or so many things that they need money for.
You were saying at the retreat, you raised, what was that big number you said?
Yeah, it's over 3 million
Okay.
here in Minnesota and Wisconsin. Yeah. So, yeah, super proud of that. We really don't take credit. It's about the communities that we get to work in with these really awesome people. Listen, retail can be very frustrating. I will be honest about that. And so, thank you, nervous system regulation tools. It's been so groundbreaking for me. At the end of the day, it's people and how they all have such a heart, truly, when you say we're connected, to want to help each other. That's why they're there. I just love that. It brings me a ton of joy to help people. We're selling mattresses, which seems like such a boring thing, but we're helping people sleep, which
Mm-hmm.
is tremendous for their health. We really actually love that piece of it too, when someone is so grateful that we've just changed their life because we actually helped them pick out a good mattress.
It definitely can make all the difference for sure. I mean,
Right.
your mattress and your sleep, that's like literally your foundation. Yeah. Oh, I love that you're using this foundation that's so essential to raise money to create miracles for children.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So you're making miracles every day. That's the sacred ordinaries. Every day you're making miracles happen, Missy. Thank you.
Yeah.
So beautiful. I appreciate you so much. And what each of your missions are, you're also essential to a better world. So for Ren Morrow, you guide people into their bodies and into wild places at the same time as a photographer. Can you remember a moment on a recent shoot when something very ordinary in nature or wind or light or a branch or a wave turned into this sacred sign for you and the person you are with? And what did that moment whisper to your heart?
Oh my goodness. Existing out in wild places for even a moment is always just like, whoa.
working with nature and with women.
And with women, like, I'm just like, wow, every time, always. One time that was like really special recently, it was my first time doing this sort of shoot. This was my most recent one I did, and I actually did a mother and her children.
Oh,
So
wow.
usually it's most similar to boudoir photography. So I'm usually doing people by themselves or couples. But this was, she wanted to lean into the empowerment aspects of it. She told me she had this vision of coming up out of the water, holding her babes. The daughter's 8 or 9, and the son is 2 or 3. Working with kids is so different because you're in the elements, and kids are very clear when they are like, we've had enough. And I'm like, well, I understood, we can be done now, we have to walk back to the car. And they're like, no, you don't understand, I'm done now. And I'm like, but you have to go back to the car, that's not my problem, I'm done. You know what I mean? It just felt so powerful to see the way that the daughter interacted with the elements. And it was moody and it was windy, and the way that she surrendered herself and was looking at the light and messing with the fabric of her dress. It was so beautiful to see this girl who I was giving her next to no instruction, seeing the purity of how she interacted with nature and with light and with wind and water. I was floored. I hadn't seen anything quite like that before. And it to come from such a place that there could be no performance was special to witness an unadulterated place of connection.
Amazing. Amazing. Yeah, being the witness to nature is, I think, so humbling. And then children, same, right? So that's amazing that you allowed, each of you allowed yourself to be open, because we have to be open. And like Dana said, listening, like Jodi talked about with noticing, we have to be open to, or like Missy with just like putting her whole heart into her work, into service. Like we have to be open to it. We have to allow it in. And you did that. You each did that. So that's incredible. So Robyn, you've been in rehearsal rooms, you've been on stages for so many years, and you coach artists in very vulnerable spaces. Can you share a time when a very normal acting or coaching moment, or maybe a line read or a breath before speaking suddenly felt like a miracle to you? And I know your whole life is a miracle, but what did you feel in the room or outside, wherever you were, that told you something unseen was at work?
Yeah. There's two things I want to share about that. It's been expressed in everything that we just talked about. I had a moment last night thinking about today, being with you all, that Dana, you spoke to in the listening, and Missy in the contribution, and Jodi in the gobsmacking miracle that it is to be alive every moment, and Regina in the play, and Ren trying to capture lightning in a bottle. I'm on set. I've been in a movie where I wake up at 4 a.m. I have a 2.5 hour warm up and process whereby I get ready to go on set. And we are aiming to capture lightning in a bottle, about a movie that takes place September 11th, 2001. And I'm playing a teacher leading a creative writing class. It all starts with the breath and the breathing to become a vessel for this story. Yeah. So it's that work, which is in the preparation. You're talking about the process and when are the miracles happening. But just to give you a specific miracle, there isn't a moment where I'm not, whether I'm getting ready to go to sleep or waking up for the 4 a.m. call, there isn't a moment where I'm not in it. So I'll just speak to one moment that happened last night, because it's never happened like this before. I'm very aware of the juxtaposition, sometimes very awkward, herky-jerky, about the fact that we are biological beings, but we're souls. Really, we're souls, but we have these biological bodies which are awkward and need food and sleep and get cranky and emotional and hormonal. So in managing all this, I'm laying down last night and I'm breathing. If the body is the temple, the breath is the soul and the congregants of that temple, of that sanctuary. I thought of the work that you do, Siri, when you sometimes invite us to put our hands on our own body. Wherever that works, you will encourage us to, if it feels good, where it feels good. And I heard this whisper, Dana, and the whisper was, take her hand, take her hand. I had this moment after a 16-hour shooting day. I was left a dry husk of a bone in the best way. And my soul took my body's hand, and I held my hand for the first time in my entire life. My soul, Robyn, held my biological hand, and I felt the comfort in that. I we wait. It's that moment when you first fall in love, and the person, when you touch that person for the first time, and that electricity that happens, it's like their hand, and you could have an orgasm just with the touch of their hand when it's brand new and it's all God. And I, like a friend, I've never done. I was laying in bed, and I took my own hand, and I felt like my own hand was not my own, coming from source, opening up with the breath, the vessel, and my biological body feeling like this girl Robyn, this nice lady Robyn, this nice soul Robyn was taking my hand, and it was such a comfort. It was such a comfort. I was like, I could take my own hand. I could take my own hand through this process, which is grueling, and I love it, and it's so hard. And I thank my feet every day for carrying me these miles and miles and miles and hundreds of thousands of miles. My feet carrying the weight on set, standing for 10 hours with the lighting and everything. Thank you. God bless you, feet. And it was just this moment of like, we talk about, you say often, walking ourselves back home to ourselves. And I've never experienced that in the physical plane to that level, to that magnitude, where I could feel a soul holding my physical hand. And it was two entities coming together, and the experience was of the oneness. And that was a moment which was eternal for me and will be with me forever and is available to me always. But that was a miracle moment last night as I thought about today's conversation. So thank you.
I love how you said, Robyn, that it's available to you in every moment.
Yeah. And I'm going to be like 50 years old. And I didn't know that until last night.
Yeah.
I've said it. I don't think I'll ever get over it. And I don't want to.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it stuck with me what you said on the last panel, Robyn, how you said, if you give everything, you truly give everything, you will get everything back. That stuck with me. And the way you talked about looking up at the sky and how you will sit and commune with the
Every
sky.
day I look up.
That stuck with me. I've started doing that. There's a reason that Robyn's on this panel every single month, is because of how she can bring her experiences to life for us in this way. And every time you share, I am a new person. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Likewise. Thank you.
And thank you for walking through the fire of your own, what I call, as Buddhism calls, human revolution. Not just to you, Robyn, but to each of you, Luana and Jodi and Missy. As you say, Robyn, you name everyone. I love how you do that. And Dana and Regina and Ren. Like, thank you, each of you, for walking through the fire of your human revolution. It's to be a conscious human, to be a conscious woman in this world, to be a spiritual woman in this world, to be an entrepreneur in this world is no small feat. No small feat. It is a lot. It's a lot. So thank you for showing up every day as best you can. And some days it looks like fucking magic, and sometimes it looks like ordinary, but it's all sacred. It's all sacred. So I want to let you guys just have a little bit of an after party before I read a poem and share a little bit more of anything anyone wants to share. You can just feel free, unmute, say anything about all of these little pieces that we just wove together that you want to respond to, or anything that's come up for you in this moment.
I have so many thoughts on. So y'all are just such a beautiful, inspiring group of women. I feel grateful to be a part of the conversation. This is just a funny note that I have. because I hear you keep talking about the year of the horse that's coming. And babes, I just want to make sure you know that that's the Chinese calendar that you're talking about, so it doesn't start till February. So we've got
And lunar doesn't start till March, right? So we got time. We got time.
No, the shedding is not over despite how ready to run I'm feeling in myself. So anyway, I just wanted to note that.
And
it's a 1 year.
No pressure.
Yeah. And it's a 1 year, right? We're just completing the 9, but it's a 1. And that does start January 1st, right? The 1 year does start January 1st. So
Yeah,
new
the 1 year
beginnings.
does.
New beginnings,
Yes.
January 1st.
Yeah.
So we're going to have this, like, we're still in the shed, but the January 1st, we're going to be in that overlap for like a month. Yeah. And then we're off to the races with the horse.
And then we're off to the races. It's like one last little body scrub.
Yeah.
Just one last. They can get the exfoliator going.
Yes.
And then we were ready.
Yeah.
I want to know so much more about all of you. And that's something else that really opened up in me after the retreat I attended with Siri was I have a lot of friends that love to tell me about new people that they meet. And in my past, I was always very impatient with that. And I always felt like busy. I felt like my cup was full. I have all these great friends already. And I wasn't closed off to friendships, but I just kind of was in my own world. And if someone around me wanted to talk to me, a lot of times I was like, yeah, I'm not really open to that because I have enough in my life. And what do I need this new person for? Kind of like, I know it sounds very flippant, but then after spending time doing more this spiritual work and learning about, I think just things that are just a lot more in depth than what I had spent time paying attention to in the past. I probably was experiencing it, but didn't know it. I have felt so much more open, like, I want to know you. Some of you guys, I like, want to know you. That's all.
I love that.
I know.
That's so relatable. This feeling like I'm full up, especially women our age. It's like I'm full up. I'm good.
Yeah.
I got enough people I'm trying to keep track of or give love to or support. So it makes complete sense. But the fact that your heart is breaking open more to expansiveness and like, I want to know you. I want to know you. You're what tell me about your inner world. I think that's so incredible.
I love that. And I want to say everybody's name too. Suri, for you getting us, really guiding us and inviting us here. And Ren and Dana and Missy and Regina and Robyn and Luana. I relate to what you're saying, Regina, and at the same time, it is the magical and mystical in the ordinary, right? That we're all so mystical and magical as individuals. And what deepened for me in today's practice that you guided us through is the more we connect to our own mystical and magical, the extraordinary in what seems to be the ordinary, into God, universe, source, that's out there, but it's also in here. And the more we give ourselves the time to be in here and know our own and slow down so we can become the witness rather than the subject, right? We witness ourselves. We can then have that spaciousness and patience and wholeheartedness to then witness others and then be blessed, really, to be able to share it. Right? Because, like we said, we're all spiritual beings living in this human meat suit or human body or biological body, all the different ways we can refer to it, the physical body, which matters too, which is our vehicle on this earth while we're here. But we get to connect soulfully. And that has been really, it's just so incredible and so nourishing and so good. I'm just feeling the iridescent deliciousness that I felt during the breath work, and I'm feeling that kind of everywhere. And I think that's because we're sharing it here together. It ramps it up, better together.
Thank you for encapsulating exactly what the theme is and the lessons are of this podcast so beautifully. So wise. Yeah.
This is just a tiny thing to circle back to where we began with the breathwork session.
Mm-hmm.
On a very practical level, what I'm noticing as I think about what this work does and how it serves Siri and the way you facilitate. Last night, just briefly on the phone with my husband to be, my fiance, it's in the pause between stimulus and response, which is the breath. The miracle is the shift in perception. And in one breath, we saved our future marriage, his life and his job, mine, in one breath, with a shift of perception and opening a portal that opened up in the pausing, actually not speaking, but in breathing and listening. And the miracle, which was larger than life, almost the biggest transformation we've had in our relationship, happened in a moment. And it was a shift in perspective on what we were talking about. And we stopped talking, we breathed, and the miracle was able to transpire. So thank you again for facilitating this kind of work, because it is life-saving on so many levels and on all these fronts. So thank you.
It is my deepest honor, and thank you for sharing with us about you and your husband, because I asked you twice about it. So you finally gave me, some insight. Thank you for being so vulnerable and so courageous. And, the reason I facilitate, just like we started with Ren was sharing as well, the reason I facilitate this work is because it's what I need. And it's my medicine, the Reiki and the breath work, and also sisterhood. Luana, you know about that. That's a big thing in your world. I've been in Luana's circles, and the sisterhood is one of the most crystallizing, beautiful ways to feel seen and held and to feel that sense of belonging. And it also is so fucking scary. Pardon my French, when we bump up against our own shadow. And that's what I've been walking through, is just some real sisterhood wound stuff. And it feels scary to open back up my heart all the way and to trust again. It feels scary. But I know it's the only way. The only way is to open the heart. The only way is to keep coming back to circles like this. Yeah. And this is women getting together and sharing the real and sharing the miracle of being who we are in this moment in time. To me, there's nothing better. It's pretty awesome. So I'm committed.
I just want to say thank you again. Like every time I hear you, and I know it's like divine work coming through you. You have such a gift, and I'm just like now just really like, my gosh, where has this been my whole life? Because imagine if we all were regulated.
Yeah.
You can hear, you can see each other, all the good and the bad, and hold it so much better. So I just and you guys are amazing. I mean, I'm feeling that too, Regina. Like I love hearing that, because it's just like, I want to know more. Who are you? It's divine work facilitating this for people and helping them just listen and see. So, thanks.
Yeah, we deserve spaces like this. We deserve to have our sanctuaries. I constantly blown away by the women that come through this particular portal. I'm feeling so blessed and so grateful. You're an answer to my prayer. Robyn says, you're all rocking my world. So big. Thank you. Robyn, you rocked our world. Okay, so notice the way the light hits your kitchen sink. The way steam rises from your mug, like a tiny prayer. Hear the email ping, the traffic, the child calling your name as part of a larger song. That reminds me of Dana. You are not waiting for your life to start. You are standing in the center of it. The universe does not only speak in thunder, it speaks in grocery lines and parking lots and the one red leaf left on the branch. Ask less, when will the miracle come? And more, how can I notice that it is already here? Breathe once for the you who is tired. Breathe once for the you who still hopes. Wrap this ordinary night in your arms and remember, you are the magic. You are the sign, always, dear one. So as you know, I love leading retreats. Please come to the next one if you feel so called, or if you know someone that would like to have this kind of experience. May 3rd to the 6th, Rockaway Beach, Oregon. There's literally like 5 spots left. There's only going to be 7 of us total. I'm intentionally keeping it super simple. And I hope that if this is something that feels aligned for you, you will come. I love each of you so much. Keep breathing, keep expanding, keep tapping into those sacred small moments. I'm so grateful for you, each of you. And keep, listener, expanding your capacity to feel good, one breath at a time. Loving you. All right, bye. You guys want to unmute?
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Guys, so nice to be connected.
Aloha.
Happy December.
Happy December. Miracle month.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
What a gift it was to have you along for that ride. I hope that you had some sort of revelation, some sort of heart opening, some sort of embodiment experience as you listened. And if you're interested in sharing anything that resonated for you, please reach out. I'd love to hear how this resonated for you and share it, obviously, with anyone that you think would get some sort of relief from this conversation or validation from it. And just know that if there is someone that, including you, that might have something to share that's a blessing for others, if you're a woman, if you're a spiritual entrepreneur, especially, I'd love to have you on the podcast on one of these panels. So let's have a conversation about that as well. Or if you have someone you'd like to recommend, let me know. We do these every month, and there's always a breathwork session prior to the panel, right? So if you just want to come and breathe with the panelists before the panel, you can. It's $33. You just drop in. You can find the link in the show notes or in my bio on Instagram. You can buy yourself a class. You can come breathe with us before the panel. So I would love to facilitate that for you. Loving you. Have a beautiful rest of your day and see you next time. If today's conversation stirred something in you, here are a few ways we can go deeper together. So the Authentic Creative Podcast, where you are now, make sure that you're subscribed so you don't miss more conversations like this. And if you loved this one, share it with a friend who needs to hear it. One-on-one work for private Reiki, breathwork, Akashic sessions where we can go right into your unique medicine. You can connect with me directly. Thank you for being here, for listening, for expanding your capacity to feel good alongside me. I'm sending you love, and I can't wait to connect again soon. Loving you.